The Crusades. Name a more iconic scene of history than tens of thousands of glorified peasants wearing 20-pound bucket helmets marching across thousands of miles of sand, hell-bent on putting millions of dirty, dirty pagans to the sword. Sick.
So sick.
So sick.
But did you know the same scene repeated about a dozen times over the span of 300 years? Those stubborn pagans just would not give the Crusaders back their Holy Land.
When you say pagans, I feel like that's a very particular choice of word.
Well, there's a couple kind of pagans. There's a couple kind of pagans at play during this period in time.
Now, given the unfortunate, colossal scale of death, genocide, and tragedy associated with the Crusades, you might once again ask yourself, why would anyone ever make a video like this? And the answer to that is because the Crusades are sick. Stop being a crybaby, they're amazing.
Black Templars, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, National Treasure. Where would we even be today without all 9 to 14 Crusades? Thank you, Pope Urban II.
I mean, it was literally a millennia ago.
This is a good way to start the video.
A millennia ago.
Well, 700 years.
Wow.
Not quite. Not quite 1,000.
Almost a millennia. Imagine if I was like Romans, like enslaving my people, and you'd think I was stupid, right? Because it's so long ago. Also,
we just appreciate it's awesome.
It is awesome, and we'll explain thoroughly why throughout the video. Who gives a f? It was so long ago. Did you like personally go and put a bunch of people to the sword? No.
So let's just talk about it like it's a cool fantasy novel. and get over ourselves.
So, with so many to choose from, the question remains, which crusade was the most awesome?
The First Crusade. First Crusade was initiated by Pope Urban II in 1095, urging European Christians to reclaim Jerusalem and the Holy Land from Muslim control.
Pagan control.
Back up.
Rewind!
Motivated by religious zeal and the promise of land and wealth in conquered territories and making God happy, the First Crusade comprised a diverse group of knights and peasants.
When you say a diverse group,
knights and peasants. 2 instead of 1.
Pagans and diverse groups. This is an interesting reframing of this.
The Crusaders successfully captured Jerusalem in 1099 after a brutal siege resulting in significant massacres of the pagan inhabitants.
Pagan and pagan inhabitants.
The victory led to the establishment of several Crusader states in the Levant, including the Kingdom of including the Kingdom of Jerusalem, which lasted about 200 years. This was the first and only successful crusade.
Oh, okay. Only if you measure on one criteria. You forgetting about the sacking of Byzantium. You telling me that wasn't a success?
As the only time they actually got Jerusalem, it's got to go S tier.
Why did the First Crusade happen?
I don't know. Are you gonna tell us?
I don't know. Just like look into it. I mean, you don't just have a crusade fall out of the sky and come from nowhere, right? Like, what happened before that made this like such a big idea that resonated?
Didn't wake up and like, let's go attack that alien city over there. That
pagan city. All I'll say is, there were probably shenanigans going on from both sides.
And then we surprised, I say we.
See, you're really undermining the point I was making earlier. Soldier of God, Don Greger.
The cool, awesome Christian soldiers decided we're gonna take that back and surprised everybody.
Whereabouts is Jerusalem?
Pretty far away.
We're taking it back. That's always been ours. The cool thing about this one is the first one, right? Imagine you're a pagan. No, you're in the desert. You're sipping on
pagan juice.
Right. Wine is banned in paganity. Over the hill, you see men made of metal just start scurrying around building castles. You're telling me that's not sick? Imagine you're a pagan and you see that.
60 to 100,000 metal men
just fucking roll over the hill. And you're like, what's the...
And they all have sick matching outfits.
They took Jerusalem, I'm pretty sure with like lower numbers than the pagans had.
There's gonna be a lot of pretty sures in this video.
Dude, this video is built on pretty sures. And then there was supposed to be this giant counterattack. The Crusaders who took Jerusalem came out and to like face them. And by the grace of God, they defeated a much larger force. Bearing in mind, they're what, 1,000 miles away from their homeland? This isn't like now where you can transport stuff. You have to fucking walk or get on a boat.
Across a godforsaken desert.
Just to take like a shitty city. Did they ransack a city and put multiple different types of pagans to the sword? Yes. Was it also S tier? Sadly, yes. People's Crusade, 1096. This is kill 'em all right before Ride the Lightning, because these guys were rough, raw. It was unofficial. It was just a bunch of random people who were just like, dude, you know what? I'm sick of whatever stuff led up to this that you should look into. Let's just go there and do something about it.
So this is before the first ever Crusade?
Yeah, that's what, like I said, it's kill 'em all, right? This is gonna set up the next album, which is gonna be more refined and cooler, but still, you don't get there without this. A disorganized peasant force led by Peter the Hermit, preceded the official First Crusade. Unprepared and lacking military expertise, their 40,000 members, driven by desires for freedom and God, faced immense hardships. Before reaching the Holy Land, they attacked communities in France and Germany, resulting in thousands of missteps. They were decisively defeated in pagan-controlled territories of Zeragordos and Sivalot, suffering near total annihilation. The People's Crusade ultimately failed, ending in defeat and widespread loss of life. Tragic. Truly tragic. Heroes of God struck down before their time.
Inspiring stuff.
It's at least A tier. Cause
yeah, they inspired 300 years of crusading.
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
Awesome.
The Second Crusade, 1147 to 1149. The Second Crusade launched in 1147, initiated by Pope Eugene III, after pagan forces captured the Crusader state Edessa in 1144. Led by King Louis VII of France and Emperor Conrad III of Germany, it was the first crusade led by kings.
Sick. Is kings leading the soldiers? Last time it was just soldiers?
Yeah, warrior kings. Back when kings were sick and didn't just have like big sausage fingers. However, the lack of unity between their armies led to decimation in Anatolia due to ambushes, disease, supply shortages, and internal disputes. Instead of recapturing Edessa, the Crusaders besieged Damascus, a former ally, alienating Christian support. Siege of Damascus failed. Within 4 days, demonstrating the challenges of large-scale Christian military coordination and the growing strength of pagan forces like the Seljuk Turks. Those crafty pagans. There was a little bit of a schism, a little bit of a fracture between the Crusaders. That's not so cool. That definitely like lowers it.
Second Crusade, you got kings, cool.
Crusader Kings is sick.
But one of them is French and they can't get along.
One of them is French. Historians suggest the decision was driven by Damascus' proximity to Jerusalem.
Yeah, so they just wanted their stuff.
Oh, well, that's what Wikipedia would say. Turns out Damascus was held by pagans the whole time.
And they got rolled.
So, achieved nothing, but there were Crusader Kings. A tier.
That seems scientific.
I like that.
The Third Crusade, 1189 to 1192.
The Third Crusade. This one's sick.
The Third Crusade.
This one's the sickest.
Tom thinks it's the sickest because it's got Richard the Lionheart. Next is the Third Crusade. Pope Gregory, I can't read Roman numerals, 8, started the Third Crusade after the capture of Jerusalem by the pagan Sultan Saladin.
Saladin, the pagan.
In 1187, leading European monarchs to rally for a counterattack.
That's right, boys.
Key leaders of the Third Crusade included Richard I of England, or Richard the Lionheart, who was revered as a great military leader, winning 3 battles within the Third Crusade. Other figures included Philip II of France and Frederick I Barbarossa of the Holy Roman Empire.
Oh, sick.
Though Barbarossa drowned in a river, severely weakening the campaign.
Not so sick.
Despite successes.
It's just laden with fucking armor clanking around in the river. Help me! Richard, help!
Did he get to fight or did he just drown?
It was a little deeper than I thought it would be. A drag current, Richard! Richard, help!
No.
The horse slipped while he was crossing a river in full armor. Dude, I was so close.
Did he even get to fight, or did he just have a sick nickname?
Frederick Barbarossa of the Holy Roman Empire. God damn. Tell me the Crusades are not sick. Despite his advanced age and challenges of leading an army across Europe and Asia Minor, Barbarossa organized and led a large German contingent towards the Holy Land. What a mensch, dude.
Sick. And then he drowned in a river, and morale was hurting.
If it could happen to him, it could happen to anyone.
You just imagine the word going through the ranks.
He died in glorious battle against the pagan. Like, well, he besmirched one of their rivers.
Poisoned their water supply.
That's right. Many a Saracen child will die this night. Praise to Barbarossa of Germany!
Despite successes such as the capture of Acre and other coastal cities, the Crusaders failed to recapture Jerusalem, though Richard negotiated a truce allowing Christian pilgrims to visit the city.
What? What do you mean he negotiated a goddamn truce?
That's some pussy shit, dude.
I thought he was the Lionheart! What the f, dude? D tier, F tier, done.
I don't like that ending!
That's stupid! It's missing all the best bits! Saladin and Richard the Lionheart, they're fighting in the Holy Land constantly. It's like a chess match. They're equally matched. They're outmaneuvering each other. It's intense. Both these guys are savages. They were on the footsteps of Jerusalem. Richard the Lionheart and his knights. Saladin was like, we have to leave Jerusalem. This guy is going to roll us. Okay, sends the order to retreat. We're gonna have to give up the Holy Land. The knights stop. Saladin's like, what the f is going on? They never attack. The attack is called off. No one knows why. People probably know why, but I don't. They don't attack. Saladin doesn't leave the Holy Land. Richard the Lionheart gets bored, goes back to Europe, and gets shot in the heart with a crossbow from a guard on a wall. The end. Is it cooler than the Second Crusade? This is the first time we have real named characters.
Barbarossa drowned in a river.
That's funny.
Pretty funny.
It's got comedy, it's got drama, it's got rivalries.
We'd be crazy if it wasn't over second.
Yeah, because both had Crusader Kings, but the third had named Crusader Kings. And at least it didn't just flop and try and attack Damascus and lose. Wow, Second Crusade kind of sucked.
The Fourth Crusade.
1202 to 1204. Called by Pope Innocent. That is such elite tier marketing. Think I'll call myself,
Look, the new Pope is chosen. Who did they choose to be the new Pope?
I think Pope Innocent is a bold choice. No one can be mad at that.
What is your first decree, Pope Innocent III?
Fourth Crusade! Immediately! The Fourth Crusade, originally aimed for Egypt, was diverted to Constantinople due to political and financial issues. Well, I mean, that's kind of the same thing, right? Wait, Constantinople, that's Byzantium. That's Holy Roman Empire, that's Christian. All right. Unable to pay their Venetian transporters, the Crusaders were convinced to attack the city. This brutal siege resulted in massive cultural and economic losses for the Byzantium Empire and exacerbated the schism between the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches. A largely ineffective Latin Empire was established in Constantinople until 1261, failing to reverse the Byzantium Empire's decline. So this was the famous sacking of Constantinople, which everyone gets a little bit out of hand about. There's no way it's that simple. I refuse to believe they simply had too many debts and decided to rob someone.
It is a common theme in the revisionist history of the Crusades.
That's right.
That they're kind of a bunch of starving assholes standing around with their bucket helmets. Like, what do we do now?
What are we gonna do now? There's not many rabbits around here to catch.
It's a goddamn desert.
It's a freaking desert, dude. I heard the Byzantines were worshipping Satan. So, what the f are you gonna do? Let that be behind you?
Those god-accursed Eastern Orthodox Christians.
Imagine you're like going to Jerusalem and behind you is a Satan worshipping state. You're gonna leave that there. Okay.
Sacking of Constantinople, pretty iconic.
It's iconic and it's sick. Even just the name Byzantium, that's rad. Sacking Byzantium, that takes huevos. That just shows that the Crusaders have still got it. Wrong target, yes, but still got it.
We're not putting pagans to the sword though.
Yeah.
B tier.
Yeah, B tier Crusade. Children's Crusade.
After the Fourth Crusade, the Rugrats had finally decided to take matters into their own hands. This actually happened. The unofficial Children's Crusade, led by two charismatic youths, a 12-year-old French boy named Stephen of Cloyes, and a 10-year-old German boy named Nicholas.
Dude, that is sick.
How does this happen?
That's what do you mean, how does it happen? They just have a French-German alliance, and there were two little boys, Don, that's me and you, who were like, oh, awesome, armor and swords, we could go to the Holy Land and take it. That's what dreams are made of, dude. That's Stand By Me, 1,000 years ago. I love this.
This should be a movie.
This should be a movie.
It should be wholesome like Stand By Me.
Yeah, and it should teach like a lesson about killing pagans.
None of that bullshit about how they were misguided and...
Yeah, no, like this is, I love this. 12-year-olds aren't built like this anymore. Kids these days.
The two boys led separate bands totaling 20 to 30,000 unarmed children, driven by a naive belief that their innocence could reclaim Jerusalem. Where did 20 to 30,000 kids come from?
Dude!
It's...
sick!
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows where they came from?
Unsanctioned by the church, this tragic movement saw participants die from hunger or shipwreck or sold into slavery, never even reaching the Holy Land.
Okay, well, was it misguided? Yes. Where were their parents? Another good question. But you can't deny that a bunch of kids forming a crusade out of like wanderlust and just a good, healthy sense of imagination isn't a beautiful thing.
Do you think they had little costumes? Like they probably had
Dude,
little...
they must have.
Yeah, little approximations of Crusader outfits.
Yeah, they must have had little like Boy Scout sashes with crosses and...
wooden swords.
Oh, dude. The best part is they deliberately disarm themselves thinking it's our innocence that God loves. Which was swiftly taken from them. Just dripping with irony. What a Greek tragedy. I love this crusade. This is my favorite.
This is your favorite? This is S tier?
It's not S, it's A tier. I love this one. It is a shame they all got taken as slaves and probably horrendous things happened to them, but that's the beauty of history. It happened so long ago, it's funny again.
The Fifth Crusade, 1217 to 1221. The Fifth Crusade aimed to capture Egypt, which was key to controlling the Holy Land by weakening pagan powers before attacking Jerusalem. After initial successes, the Crusaders marched inland towards Cairo, but they were trapped by floods and defeated by forces of militarized pagan slaves known as Mamluks.
Dude, those are in Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God, bro.
Leading to their eventual surrender. The Crusades saw the involvement of many European monarchs, including King Andrew II of Hungary, who failed to bring significant resources or support to the effort. Despite the failures of the Fifth Crusade, the idea of attacking Egypt remained a central focus in later Crusades, as Egypt was seen as the strategic power base to pagan control. So we're kind of losing the plot a little bit.
Seems like we did that by the fourth.
As Crusaders at this point, yeah, just sort of forgot what the original target was.
Jerusalem, yes. But have we considered Egypt?
We could put a cross
Right on the top of the pyramid. People would see it from all around.
If in history they captured Egypt and put crucifixes, and that was like in the pyramid history, that would have been sick.
Based on that, then, you can't say that the goal was bad. They just didn't achieve the goal.
Mission failed.
I'm not mad at them attacking Egypt. Like, I would be tempted to attack Egypt too.
These are modern goals.
Yeah,
lofty modern goals.
These goals still endure.
Maybe rethinking this.
You could still do this today and it would kind of make sense. You don't want the pyramids? I want the pyramids.
I want the pyramids for Christianity. I think B. I think deciding, hey, let's get the pyramids.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And
no, C. It's not the Fourth Crusade.
Yeah, it doesn't stand on the same footing as Constantinople,
Yeah, exactly.
obviously.
Do you know what you've really got to respect? People walked thousands of miles in tin armor 9 times. That is a lot of pick yourself up and dust yourself off, quite literally. All right, well, I guess we should do that again. Like, you got to respect that.
Yeah, some of these were probably close enough together that it was like, my grandpa was a crusader. I want to be a crusader.
To be fair, that this is a period in history where your grandfather was probably 16 years old.
The Sixth Crusade, 1228 to 1229.
The Sixth Crusade is the biggest letdown on the list so far. It was led by Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II, who, unlike previous crusades, negotiated a peace treaty with the Sultan of Egypt to gain control of Jerusalem. Through diplomacy, Frederick secured the peaceful return of Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and other key sites to Christian rule.
Crafty
without
German.
any military engagement. Frederick's success in Jerusalem was controversial. Many crusaders and the Pope believed he had betrayed the Christian cause by not engaging in battle to recapture the city. I vibe with that so hard.
That's so funny.
Not like that.
Walking back into Jerusalem salty that you can come back. Just
Like, oh, cool, I guess I can stare at all the stuff with no blood on it. That's cool, sure wish I could have ransacked that. I f with the Pope on this one. Like, you're gonna take the Holy Land without force? Like, what's even the point?
How many Crusader skeletons are literally outside, just under 6 inches of sand, you know? From 200 years ago. Yeah, you're gonna come in and negotiate it.
It just takes all the fun out of it, doesn't it?
There's a reason history doesn't remember Frederick II.
The Germans, of course, would get their warlike reputation later in history. As Frederick II left for home after his triumphant entry into Jerusalem, a group of disgruntled Latins pelted him with meat and offal. And there were some Englishmen behind them licking their lips. Watch our British food is a hate crime video. This makes me drool. F tier. Just delete it from the list.
It's not even a crusade.
Yeah, Corgan in the bin, thank you. The Seventh Crusade, 1248 to 1254.
Control of Jerusalem and much of the Crusader kingdom was lost in 1244 when a combined force, including Khwarezmian mercenaries, sacked the city and defeated the Crusader army at the Battle of La Fourbi in Gaza.
Ooh.
The setback prompted Pope Innocent IV keeping it going. This prompted Pope Innocent IV and King Louis IX to launch the Seventh Crusade. Louis focused on Egypt.
Again?
Hell yeah. Even capturing Damietta, but his forces were defeated and he was ransomed by the Mamluks. Despite the setback, Louis was revered and later led the Eighth Crusade.
What? Based on that, I'm gonna go this is bottom tier, because I don't remember a thing you said, and you said it literally 30 seconds ago.
It's just kind of lame. F tier?
Bottom of the barrel. We are stretching the definition of crusade now. You got defeated and you didn't even have the good grace to die, so now you get to do another one.
Maybe his second try will be better. The First Shepherd's Crusade, 1251.
You can immediately see why they thought this was a good idea. Wasn't Joseph a shepherd? Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. It's already written. You know why they did this. The 1251 First Shepherd's Crusade. First Shepherd's Crusade! A popular movement in northern France aimed to rescue King Louis IX in the Middle East. That guy's such a piece of shit. Led by a man claiming a vision from the Virgin Mary, the group of an estimated 30,000, primarily young men and women, marched south, initially supported by Blanche of Castile. While initially not targeting pagans, they attacked synagogues and robbed pagan people upon reaching Bourgeois. Royal authorities eventually suppressed the movement. Wow, well, what can you say about this one?
When you're a crusader, clearly, it's very easy to get distracted. You're looking behind you and you've got this giant army of 40,000 guys, and you're like, well, we could just bag a quick victory.
Just
right
one
there.
to keep morale up.
One for the road.
Yeah, you don't want to just march into the Middle East and fight Mamluks if you haven't targeted a few synagogues first.
You can't play at the Super Bowl until you win the regular season.
That's a really good and culturally relevant point, Don. Thank you. Shepherds is not as fun as children. Synagogues, kind of an easy target.
But,
they didn't even get to the Holy Land, or
but
did
we do have a large army of adults that went and crusaded.
Based on one guy being like, dude, I had a dream.
The whole catalyst was saving that French asshole.
Where are we putting this? I think this is a pretty crusade. Let's just put it with the 8th and 9th.
Yeah, fair enough. They're not in uniform, you know?
Yeah, they're barely even trying.
Really, really funny. For example,
it is sort of funny,
but not just not funny enough. Crusade of the Poor, on the other hand, this sounds funny.
8th Crusade, 1270. It doesn't have an end date. Is it still going? The 8th Crusade ended as quickly as it started. King Louis IX tried another crusade, this time in Tunisia. Of course, Tunisia, hoping to convert the ruler. But a plague hit them right when they got started, killing Louis and many others, ending French crusades and dampening Europe's crusading spirit. That's gotta be rough, dude. you get hit by a plague, and as like a God-fearing man, you have to believe like if a plague comes and wipes out your general, God doesn't want you doing this.
Yeah, this King Louis guy, he tried twice. He tried his hardest. But he sucked so bad that he made Crusades fall out of fashion. It is kind of funny.
See, that's what I was gonna say.
And you gotta respect, he went for it again and he died trying.
He died of plague and made crusading,
which is
outlawed in France. That's pretty funny.
It's iconic.
That is iconic. That's better than the 7th.
So probably D tier.
Yeah, I think that's a D tier. Good on him. 9th Crusade, 1271 to 1272. Not the most longest lived crusade.
The 9th Crusade, led by Prince Edward, later King Edward I, was the last major crusade to the Holy Land. Edward's forces had some skirmishes and briefly took the city of Acre, but didn't gain much land. It ended with a truce, letting Edward go back to England to become king, basically ending the big crusades.
I guess that about accurately portrays like how people are feeling about crusades at this point. Who cares? Who knows what went on? This is boring now. It had a great run, 300 years. This one sounds like it sucked. I think it's another D tier.
The last two really sucked. Come on, guys. You didn't get anywhere. The plague, we gotta try this again.
We can't end on that.
But then he didn't even die in battle. They let him go.
Yeah, truce.
And then he just goes home and forgets about the whole thing.
And he becomes king. He could have, like, I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, kind of weak.
I would put it on the same list as the 8th.
Crusade of the Poor, 1309. The unauthorized People's Crusade of 1309, largely composed of lower classes with few knights, driven by religious fervor, adventure, and potential wealth. Lacking noble leadership, they relied on charity and plunder, often clashing with locals. In Avignon, Pope Clement offered indulgences, acknowledging their intent, but refused their integration into the official expedition. Why don't you think he just let him join the real crusade?
Clearly, none of these people can be trusted. Even the nobles and the professional soldiers are retarded.
Indulgences, or spiritual discounts, reduced penance for sins. Many eager individuals couldn't join the official campaign but showed their intent by sewing crosses on clothes. Clement's indulgences rewarded their sacrifice even if they didn't fight, benefiting their spiritual account. Without support, the march dispersed, eventually.
A bit of a wet fart, this one.
Yeah, probably E tier.
They're poor. They did some sewing and they did what they could, but ultimately they did nothing.
Trying to get in on the righteous slaughter so they don't go to hell.
Oh my god, the shepherds are at it again. 1320. It's not a good start, Don. The short-lived Second Shepherd's Crusade, beginning in France, always a bad sign, in June 1320, was initiated by a young shepherd claiming divine vision to fight Moors in Iberia. I respect this too, because this is like a little trip to Spain. This is a little boys' holiday. Little lads abroad. Composed of diverse individuals, including women, children, and clerics, they marched to Paris for King Philip V's support, who refused them. In Paris, they freed prisoners from the Grand Chapelle. The crusade ended harshly when Alfonso, son of James II of Aragon, dispatched authorities, leading to hangings, imprisonments, fines, and dispersal of its members.
So they go to Paris. He doesn't give them support, so then they go free a bunch of prisoners in Paris. They're kind of causing problems in Paris. And once again, it's like, wait, weren't we going to Spain?
In their defense, King Philip is clearly not a reasonable man. So how do we know those people even deserve to be in prison in the first place? If anything, these brave shepherds are freeing innocent men and then trying to go for the lads' holiday abroad to Spain to dust up the Moors, which you have to respect. Did the Moors have Spain before the Crusades happened?
The pagan empire.
The pagan empire, yes.
When did the pagan empire?
1711 AD.
Oh, they've
Well. Why did the Crusades happen? That's strange. It's almost like we didn't start it. Not we, but the people 1,000 years ago didn't start it. I like this a lot. This is actually quite funny. They're hating on the French. They're trying to go to Spain to fight. They're freeing prisoners. I kind of like this a lot. I respect it.
Yeah, how quickly did this happen after the first one?
The first one's 1251, almost 100 years.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't someone that just heard about it that just happened and said, oh, also I have a vision from God.
We're gonna win one for the shepherds. I'm putting this with the 4th Crusade.
Shepherd that says he got a vision from God, that now the Crusades need to crush Spain. They go to France to try to get a bigger army.
That's my favorite part.
Which is a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Hey, can we have some support?
No, you're idiot shepherd, God didn't talk to you. Off.
All right, bet.
The Crusaders do a prison break.
They divert from yelling at the French king and do a prison break. Tell me that's not as good as sacking Constantinople.
You imagine the like army camp and the guy comes back from meeting the king. It's like, well, what'd he say? They're going for it? All right, so is it better or worse than the fourth? Constantinople.
I'm not going to besmirch the fine memory of all those who died by putting them up against each other. Rest in peace. Peace.
If you still crave endless wars and militarized zealotry, check out our video on how to get into Warhammer 40k.
Peace.